There? We? Yeah. I do believe we're live. So, I'll say indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. What a dear pleasure it is to have you here again on another conscious evolution. Another opportunity for us to consider why it is we forget. I had a whole moment today thinking about all of the things I've said in this space, all of the things that I have made clear I want to do. And as I was going through all of those things, I thought about the whole wanting to live for 1,000 years aspect of this space as well. Goo! I have remembered to tune in to a conscious evolution with Meltmore. That sounds like a diary entry if I've ever heard one. Should be a good one. Should be have like stars around it, bunch of dollar signs, bunch of uh, uh, I was thinking about those emojis that have their tongue sticky out like that, like the super happy, but and then I was like, that is too close to some of the other stuff on the internet, and then I got tripped up. I got tripped up, Gobbledygoo. I lost my rhythm. It's nice having you here. Glad to see you, Sam. It's glad to see you always. Samity Sam, love to you. To see you. Need to start keeping a diary again. I also need to start keeping a diary again. They say it's generally good for your mental health. It's good for your mental health to keep a diary, they say. Uh, it's like one of those things where if you have to if you have to ask a bunch of people and half of the group does diary, half of the group doesn't, the diary group tends to have a better quality of life because they are just a little bit more mindful. You were talking about living for 1,000 years. Yes, thank you, Gabs, for reminding me. So, in that whole living for 1,000 years fractal, I thought to myself that that is quite the claim, right? It's quite something ridiculous to say. And then I thought to myself, why is it? Why is it I want to live for that long? And what is that going to mean? What is that going to mean 1,000 years from now, right? Because it's one thing to conceptualize and say, I want to live for 1,000 years, right? I want to continue living. It's a whole other thing to actually live for the 1,000 years. And I was just spending some time in myself thinking about that version of me that lives 1,000 years from now, right? And what that life looks like. And upon thinking about it, it dawned on me how much that version of myself had forgotten. Right? Even this version of me, technically, has forgotten a great deal. But that version of me will have forgotten even more. Will have forgotten me potentially completely. I could potentially not exist to myself 1,000 years from now. I'll have to go onto YouTube, just like you. Go and say on day 1,000. Did I put my title in incorrectly? I think so. I think my title's incorrect. Suddenly my mind is like, wait a second. On day 1,697, I think it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be 97, not 96 again. Where was I? Who was I? Right? What do I what do I remember about this version of myself 1,000 years from now? And I don't know if I remember anything at all. And that's kind of what we're talking about today. There's so much wind out here. My hair seems to be stable, but the scarf seems to be very light. This is nice. Like it's not cold right now. This is just actually nice. It's a comfortable wind. I'm happy that I have good microphones at the very least, so you friends don't have to deal with. You might have to deal with a little bit of wind noise, but I hope it's not. I hope it's just the actual noise of the wind and not the sound of the diaphragm being rustled. I'm gonna come back to chat. I was keeping journals, but I kept spiraling because it's just me in those pages, and it ended up not being a healthy practice for me. There is a bunch of different ways to do it. I'm sure there is a way to make it healthy, I'll say. But it is one of those things where you figure it out. Like the way I was doing it, Sam, is I was spending a disgusting amount of time doing it. I was spending 1 to 2 hours a day journaling. And then I realized, I don't know if I want to spend this many hours, right? Close to 1,000 hours a year just journaling. I don't know if I want to do that. And then I just stopped completely. I need to find some balance. I need to give myself like like a is it A4, the smaller page, like a letterhead. I need to give myself like a letterhead page instead of like a full page to write on, because I would fill between 1 and 2 A4, right, printer sheet papers with writing every single time I journaled, and I was like, this is a lot. Oh, this is so much extra. Spiraling, as in ruminating on things that are a source of anxiety, causing the anxiety to intensify. I can see how that could happen. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm my own worst critic, and if left alone in an empty room or on an empty page, I'll start taking myself to court over some really dumb shit that objectively isn't worth the hassle. It's interesting how we apply these tools. Mine become very subjective when I journal. I basically break down. Maybe I can open one of my old journal entries. Actually, I don't even have to. I don't have to speculate. My journal is right here in my hand. Here's my daily pages. Yes. So I did 192 journal entries before I was like, okay, I need to chillax this. I need to chillaxio, bobaxio a little bit. I'm overdoing it, right? And then there they are. Right, and if I click on one of these, so much. And then this is the structure that I would follow. I call it, I have four bars. Tell me more. Happy I did more of this. Melt away the old. And then how does it make me melt more? Right. So that was like the structure. And then of course I would tell more. Whatever it is I wanted to tell more of, I tell more of. And then after I've told more of that, I'm happy that I did more of these things. And then after that, I melt away the old. I kind of like abolish, I release, I manifest, like better world for us in the future. And then the last one is, how does it make me melt more? So considering all of the things that I've journaled about up top, how does all of those things apply to me becoming who I'm becoming? And then I did that every day. This is the one that I clicked on. You want to hear my journal entry? I don't know what's written here, so it might be ultra cringe. I wouldn't put it past myself. I have been thinking about this music festival that I'll be going to in a few weeks. My mind is full of considerations. I will make sure to do my streams even if I have to drive somewhere in order to get signal. I believe we will not have to go that far, but I will need to buy some more data / old network roaming data. I'm also thinking about how to keep my devices charged so that I can keep creating my flowers and streams. I'm trying to think of how I can be vigilant with my devices. Leaving them in a tent does not feel like something I can do. This was, and I like reading the journal entry, this was when Adam came through from Zimbabwe to pick me up because he was going to take me through to a festival. And this is the first festival that we've been to since we started the live streams, right? So like some context. Leaving it in a tent does not seem okay. Yeah, I've had stuff find new homes, right? So I'm like, I can't lose my devices because my devices is what I work with, right? It's one thing to lose your phone and be able to go to your job still, let them know in person, but my job is here. I'm doing my job right now. I'll probably leave my stuff in the car. I do not know how far away it will be, but I will not risk losing anything. Like, this is me just basically like thinking about the fact that this festival is coming up. So in that state, I'm in this state of anxiety of trying to consider uh, all of the potential circumstances. right? And in that, but considering I'm like, I need to just like write some of this stuff down that's going on inside my head. I realize that it will probably be uncomfortable to sleep in a tent and shower in a public bathroom again. But I realize that I will, but I also realize that I'm doing it for a friend. Adam is someone who has seen me before many others could. I look forward to seeing him as well. All the stress I have ground all the stress I have around this adventure I am going on will melt away as I embrace the change. Love is true. I am proud of myself for how much I think about what I'm doing and how it will affect my life and work and the lives of others. I am proud of how I am responsible. I have grown and the level of commitment I can show. My work is love, and nothing can ever stop that unstoppable force. This is so cringe, but it's true. It's true, damn it. It can only melt more when it reaches the immovable truth. I am melting away the stress of things not being perfect. My mind is always full with all the possibilities. Now more than ever, I will it to be full with hope and trust that all will be well, even if not perfect. I am melt. My flow will only grow more. And then the last bit is I am. This is like how does this make me melt more? I am a mindful being of hope and trust. My life leads me to higher and higher levels of impact as I continue to show up for love. Every challenge or adventure in front Every challenge or adventure informs my wisdom and helps me grow in power and discipline. All I go through allows me to learn how I can help others. All I experience will make me more relatable to others. I am Eltmore, a being whose commitment to others is unmistakable. My life and efforts will be seen as proof that love is true. All those that join me will be uplifted and empowered to teach the truth of love as well. I will never give up on what I know. That was like, of course, this is the one that I don't have a freaking date on, but it was around 27th of March, 2023. 2023, March 2023. That's a while ago now. It's a while ago now. So yeah, it's just a lot. It's just so much you're wondering. But it helps to give yourself some structure, I find. I wonder if our memory has a certain capacity, like a storage drive, and we intake so much more information than our ancestors. Perhaps we haven't evolved enough to process and store all the information properly. So in the meantime, there are side effects. You might be right on that, Goo. I even, in my Zora post, recently made a little quip about being willing to augment myself, right? I'm willing to become cyborg. I am 100% willing to become cyborg, to augment myself so I can have perfect recall. I don't want perfect memory. I think perfect memory, like, I don't think we want that. I think we forget for a reason. That's kind of today's just, right? But I do think every single person wants perfect recall, where if you are wanting to remember something, it's there, right? No having to strain, just like, oh yeah, this thing I'm remembering, of course, Samenfeld. The Roman room system GAB was invented to help someone remember the placement of bodies after a temple collapsed or causing fire. I don't remember. And a lot of people use it now to help them. Sherlock's Mind Palace is the Roman room method, made more grandiose for his ego, of course. I'm checking out the Roman room method, hell yeah. My mom and I were talking one time, and she told me, when you think about things you did in the past and you cringe, that's how you know you've grown since then. That is a wholesome mom quip. I like that. Thank you, Sam. I advance gradually but steadily. This is one definition of forge, as the word suggests. Indeed, hoops. We got Gabbity Goops saying hi, see you, Stoos. It is true. Don't you even think about coming and sitting on my lap. Not after you at the cows. I say ah, and you go huh? After I said after I said the you still go at cows, disturbing my peace. Don't be trying to sneaky up on my lap. I said no. I'm angry. This is angry myself. This is me being angry. How dare you? Yeah, you better keep stepping on my stuff, I guess. Yeah, sits on yoga mat. That's better. This I can maybe tolerate like a little bit. And we have our first square fill today. Wisdom from Hoopy, of course. Like a first square, not the first line. A full line is bingo, right? That's how it works. To the friends who don't know, Sam created a bingo sheet for the Meltmore streams, right? If you aren't extra engaged and you want to potentially gamify this experience, you can download, or you don't even have to download. You can just go onto that link and then you can have a bingo sheet. What will you get if you win bingo? I can do like some sort of like reward. I can like send you some of my own tokens. How does that sound? I've got a lot of them now. I'll be getting more over the next 5 years, so we can definitely do something like that. I would be putting the keys in the hands of people that could sell some of my liquidity, but it could be fun. It could be a fun little reward. People playing bingo. I think Bob's your uncle. I think Bob's my uncle. I have an uncle called Greg. That's the closest to Bob. There's so much wind. Making sure not to have any of it steal some of my leaves. You better leave my leaf alone. You windy windies. Good morning, friends. Good morning, a hoopy. How you doing? How's life treating you, hoopty hoops? Where do you find yourself right now? Are you present? Are you patient? Have you considered today's stream topic? Why is it we forget? Is there something you're forgetting? I haven't seen you hit that like button. Boom. Boom, content create. Get content created. Boom. Hey, Jovan! Jovan is here with us too. Hey, Zhao. Good morning. Present. Yes, you are. A gift to us all, indeed. Love is true. It's nice to have you friends here with me. We're considering today why it is we forget. You know, and I haven't said this directly. Hey, Mojo is here too. One of the OG holders. Holding me so gently. Making me feel extra safe. I appreciate it. Hoopty hoops. It's nice having you. Yvonne. Yvonne. I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry, but hello to Brazil, all the way from South Africa. It's nice to have you here, friend. What brings you here? Today we're having a discussion about why it is we forget. And I keep getting really close to saying what it is I want to say, and then I get distracted just a little bit. There's something in me that wants to forget. Why is that? Why is that? And I don't know if it's a want to. Goo beautifully said that maybe it's just a matter of evolution. That the thing that I am is coping with the fact that I am inside a body, right? That my insatiable desire for information outpaces my brain's ability to categorize, yes, categorize or catalog this information properly, right? And then there's the part of me that can completely and with honesty admit that I, in fact, do want to forget some of the things. And it's not like I've been through extensive traumas, technically. But still, would I want to remember most of my current experiences? Right? I don't know if it's a certain trauma to feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or at the very least to just be limited in how much you can. Right? For instance, 1,000 years from now, I trust I'll have access to so much resources, so much help, so much sophistication that everything that I can imagine is a little snake. Hello, Snaky. Hello, Snaky, Snaky. Where did it go? Bruh, I put my hand over it and it literally disappeared. It was very small. I'm having my brain melted right now. Like so much so that I want to check my own body that it didn't coil itself up close to me. It's here somewhere. Did it hide under the grass? Bruh. How did that snake get away from me? Like, spotting a snake from a distance is one thing. Approaching the snake is another. And then upon trying to catch the snake, it just kind of disappearing. My brain is not having a good time. It was something called a gespikkelde bosslang. They're not venomous. That's why I wanted to catch it. And it was such a small one as well. It's like a little baby. Maybe that's why it was so fast. I guess it's time for me to accept. Snaky Snaky has disappeared. Man. I totally wanted to catch a snake. My senses are tuned. Snack? There was a snack, oh. A gespikkelde boslang. I've held one of them on stream before. But like there was clearly a moment there where it's like I bent down to catch him. I guess he kind of like slid behind me. But by the time I realized I had not caught him, he had disappeared from my line of sight. It's kind of impressive even how fast he moved. It's messing with me a little bit. I'll show you what they look like though. Gespikkelde boslang. You don't even want to know what it thought I said. It's one of these little ditties. Some of them are green, but it was even smaller than this one. Even smaller. Again, the fact that I spotted him just kind of like jetting over the grass from here. And then when I'm up close to him, he disappears. Like my brain is like having a hard time. It's like actually messing with me. It's like, no, no, there was some sort of magic. There must have been magic. That snake was actually this was actually Satan. That specific one was the Satan. I'm gonna just relax. I'm gonna close this tab. Okay, mine. Stop looking for snake. A part of me still wants to like do one more sweep, but that snake probably was scared shitless of me being suddenly like, oh my. Why is it coming for me? Why is it coming for me? Why did it try to touch me? Poor snaky. Hi, Jovan. Baltimore. I've heard it be said that the universe likes to forget so it can remember. Ooh, that's some deep stuff, Joe. I do like that. Maybe that is why. Maybe that is why we forget. It's nice to remember. It's nice to remember things fondly, and it's nice to forget things painful. So it's this duality of like if you forget on average, you forget on average all of the things that was bad, and on average people will bring up the things that are good. So you get like a double whammy. Don't you even think about it, you monster, you barker of cowers, you cow barker, you barky cowers. Don't you think about? Don't you even think? Don't you be thinking? I can see you thinking. You're thinking for yourself. You should stop. No thinking for yourself that you might convince me that I'm gonna let you on my lap. Because again, right? There has to be some sort of consequences. There has to be. This dude, as I'm getting ready to set up a stream, is just like standing next to that. Yeah, I'm talking about you. I am talking about you. He's just standing next to the line, just barking at the cows. Right? Not doing anything useful, just barking at cows. Just bark, 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 bark. A bark, barking, barking. And then I go, ha, stop that. And he just barks anyway. He just continues barking. Doesn't listen to me at all. No, doesn't listen. Doesn't listen, just barks. Isn't that right? Freaking ruffian. Ruffian. Just barks. Just keeps barking. And now he wants to come and like sit on my lap. After that, not a chance. Oh, not a chance. Not a chance. Where you just get comfy, get all close to me. If you directly perturb me, I ask nice. Don't perturb, but no. Perturb. I perturbies. I must make a perturbance. Must make a perturbies. Must more turbans. Perturban. Freaking creatures we have in our lives. I know people who talk in all caps. Well, I know people that talk in all caps. Yeah, I do. One of my aunts has an all caps types of talk. Snack. It's interesting that you spell snack that way as well. But yeah, exactly. Freaking snack. So I think the part of me that keeps looking is the part of me that wants to be in the reality of having hold of Snack right now. That's the version of me I want. I'm suffering. I'm suffering. Yesterday we talked about that, didn't we? Da, da, da. I've heard, bless again. That's a sneaky snack. Multi-dimensional snacks. Are there that kinds of snacks that bite their way into the back of the neck and take over the body and uses it to subjugate and rule the galaxy? I sure fucking hope not, because if that's the case, then I got subjugated. I'm the human vessel right now. That snack disappeared, yo. I don't know what to say. Because again, there was like a bunch of area around me. What you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? When I said out there, you didn't listen. Now there has to be consequences. There has to be consequences. Yeah, that's what I thought. Consequences must pay. Must pay your dues. Don't be thinking that I'm gonna forget just cause. No consequence. Did they vote for someone with toilet brush? I don't know if you, and you probably do know that there's like a whole Chinese, what's the word? Capitalizing on product. It's kind of hilarious. Intuition called me to be here for the consciously communicating people. Stop typing in caps. It's rude. Did somebody type in caps? I didn't see any. Sam sends SG1 to fight the space worms. Isn't that a Stargate? Stargate reference? They're not exactly snakes. They're more like worms. Space worms. Did you say space worms? You did say space worms. Yeah. Whoopi said space worms. They are more like worms. They're little. If you know, you know. I was mildly traumatized by that as a child. I was like, oh, that is horrifying. Do I have a worm in me? I know it's very likely, Sam. You know, it's very likely. Take deep breaths. Calm the central nervous system. Observe. Observe your environment. Look and see things to be grateful for. Drink some water. Sleep adequate hour. You'll defeat everyone else if you could just do those things. You just do those things. All right. People that talk in all caps will get louder and louder. And then they'll get really quiet. Super quiet. Just what happened about that whole anonymous cannabis? And it's like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they talk in all caps. That's a defense mechanism. Yeah. It's getting harder and harder to defense. To defense mechanisms, it's getting harder. I'm at a point in my experience where I understand the whole forget about it. Aggressive defensiveness. Conniving defensiveness stabs you in its defensiveness. You come up, already defensive. Stab. Oh, what the fuck? What are you doing? What are you doing that? I thought you were gonna attack me, and I was just coming around the corner. You were attacking me. You were the person I was supposed to be worried about. By you thinking you're supposed to be worried about people like me, you became the type of person I the type of people like me worry. Look at us, collectively worried about everything and nothing. What a weird dichotomy of a world we live in, huh? So many dualities. So many dualities actively unfolding. The fear paradox. That's what I just said, right? Yeah. You being scared gives you things to be scared about. The universe is like, oh, we're doing this now? We're doing being scared? Okay. How about this news confirming some of your potential biases? Are you more scared? How about this article about how the world is gonna explode tomorrow? You know? How about this article about how our this and that is not secure and how our so and so is sis and sauce? Oh, there's so much to be scared about. An infinite amount of things out there for you to scare yourself with. However, forget about it. Have you considered? Let me proposition forgetting about it. Are we gonna forget about it? Huh, Mel, I didn't think about that. All of those things I was carrying myself with, I forgot. I make a forgore, and now I am at peace. Yes, my parents are back. They were gone for the weekend. It's just me and my sister at home. That's a sneaky snack. Frickin' sneckins. How did it do that? How was it that fast? Still, I'm gonna be baffled for like weeks. I've had a few moments like that where reality messes with me a little bit. I've had a very similar moment of a frog once, where with the exact same circumstances, I also kind of tried to catch the frog, and then suddenly the frog was just gone. Frog was just not there anymore, and I still to this day am perturbed by that frog disappeariosoing. So now I have another instance. Frog and snack disappeariosos. I've been consuming too much news lately. Yeah, I don't know if that's good for your mind, bro. Your brains don't particularly enjoy eating all of the bad news. The only news I really expose myself to is like the news of the financial world almost. Right? Where it's like, what is happening? What are people actively spending their money on right now? Like the new thing, you probably having been exposed to the news, the new thing is now that the AI bubble is getting pumped. And we're like right on the cusp of like having like a .com thing happening with the whole AI fractals. I have no money invested in AI technically, right? So I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that part. However, however, it is going to be one of those things that just like potentially puts some echoes through the lives of real people because of the speculation of those who have more than they know what to do with. Jovan, I've got a sick kid here today. I don't know right now if I'll be able to Sangha this week, but I hope so. Bless you. Sam, we're here with you, friend. Thank you for taking care of your little one. Thanks, man. He's 7 months old, and this is his very first fever. So he did pretty good, all things considered. The body knows what to do, and it's Sam. Oh, yeah. You live in Texas, and until Texas stops being Texas, you're gonna have to consume the news to stay safe. Pretty much, yeah. Texas is very. I don't know if you live in Austin, Texas. How Texas do you live? Oh, how much Texas are you getting? Texas plus. I don't know if this is a question you want to answer, Gabs. Part of me wants to ask you, do you carry a firearm? Will I carry a firearm? If I don't carry a firearm here. Oh, I love those eyes. Okay, enough said. Enough said of not saying anything. Can you imagine me with a firearm? The way that my mind applies what I just said in trying to imagine myself with a firearm isn't imagining me with a pistol. It's imagining me with a literal arm that has mechanics built into it that can go and then I can shoot fire out of my arm. Yes, I'll have one firearm. Thank you very much, Americas. Comes back with roborotics, roborotic hands that can shoot fire out of. I completed training and got licensed to carry concealed right before the state made it legal to carry without training or licensing. That's kind of funny. Funny in the "are you kidding me" kind of way. I'm sorry, Gabs. However, now you still got your training, and you still have your license. I hope, or whatever, which means that you are, in a way, the more qualified person to handle a gun in that environment where everybody can basically get one. And I hated carrying, so I don't carry. It is a heavy object to take out of the home with you, right? Like this little baggie of mine has a certain weight to it, all right? Having a weapon, having a gun, right, means that I now am taking with me the potential to murder someone or kill them in self-defense, right? I am taking that option with me just in case. That's pretty heavy. Heavy in so many ways. It is heavy. But it is again a fractal of like self-defense, where if you have a family, right, if you have kids waiting for you at home, now suddenly it becomes a matter of if I die, right, I'm dropping other people. So I can't. Actually, I've decided that I am to not die instead. I watched, I need to remember the movie name. Hallo, welkom terug. Sal 'n bietjie later gesels. What is the Netflix movie with all of those old-timey American stories? Yeah, Ballad of Buster Shrugs. The Ballad of Buster Shrugs. The second time I watched that last night. I was doing work, so I just wanted something on. Uh, took me almost the entirety of the Ballad of Buster Shrugs to make this yesterday. An entity. An entity for you to see. Yeah. But in the Ballad of Buster Shrugs, you see how wild America has been. That's fucking cool. Oh, thank you, Gabs. It is pretty interesting. Making some creatures. The current series I'm building out right now on my Zora is going down from 9 all the way to 1. Meow Meow says sick art. Thank you. Meow Meow to Jovan with her heart eyes. Lisa, management Annie, Lisa's here. Bless you, friend. It's nice to have you. That's cool. I see a dog with its chicken wings spread, flying in for hugs and kisses. That is interesting. For me, This one has like almost like one entity in it. It's like those are the kind of eyes. Maybe it can have extra pairs of eyes. These can be eyes too. This is like some sort of like third eye kind of contraption. The one I made, this one has like cooler creatures, I think. There's a creature there. There's a creature there. And then there's this creature. And of course, that owl creature up there too. But as I was doing this, making one of these, I was like watching that movie again. And that movie makes it dawn on you how wild America was, right? What America is, where America came from, kind of vibes. And it makes me very grateful to be today, in so many words. Very grateful indeed. Meow meow, bless again, friend. I have seen your name here before, but it's a pleasure to see your comments. What are we but entities within an entity, within an entity, within an entity, within an entity? Indeed. What are we? I had that literally, gobbledygoo, one day as like a very almost like uncomfortable trip. It dawned on me, like I had this whole almost like zooming out experience. And then I zoomed out from my human life, and then I could see like the earth, and then I could see like the galaxy, and I could see like this spheroid, that's holding whatever is. And then I could see that making as a part of like the skin of another creature, right? Like it was just like a little cell in the skin of another creature. And that creature was very not normal to what I would consider normal. It was very bug-like, very flea-like, weirdly enough. Kind of like flea geometries, but very spirally too. Right? And I was like, oh, I don't know if I like that. Do I like thinking about being part of a massive interdimensional flea monster? Hmm. And then it messed with me a little bit. And then I came to the conclusion that it doesn't matter whether or not I am. What matters is whether or not I love, right, as a part of this experience, regardless of where it is I find myself. I've had that experience as well. Yeah, our whole observable universe is just a cell amongst trillions of other cells that compose another intelligent entity. It's very disconcerting. I mean, because like the fact that you've had that experience, right, Gab? And I mean, I didn't know that. Trying to explain that to a person who's not had an experience like that, they usually look at you like, uh huh, calls 911. It's like there's something wrong with this person. But like experientially, you go through something like that, and you're like, oh, and it dawns on you the interconnectedness of it all, right? And the fact that in a way you are also, it freaks people out, yes. Freak me out a little bit. I am a people and I got freaked out. but but after you get over the being of freaked out, you realize that it is kind of a communication of unity. And it is non-linear, but it does have a element of linearity to it, right? Where you are the thing. You are literally the thing that it is that's freaking you out. It's like being freaked out by yourself. And you can be, right? Like if you wrestle enough lions, if you get swarmed by enough meerkats, right, and you go and stare in the mirror afterwards, you'll look like you look like you're melting. Oh wow, is that reality? I had a moment like that with my sister yesterday where she was looking at the stars, and then she goes, sometimes I look at the stars and it feels like they're going jiggly, like they're moving. And I go, reality is an illusion. Actually, my dear sister, reality is an illusion. The reality that you're seeing right now is not reality as it is. Did you know that? Do you think about that often? I think about it every single day of my life. I cannot stop thinking about it. Reality is not what you're seeing right now. Reality, as you see it, is what ensures your continued survival, right? What you see right now allows you to find food, allows you to find other people to build tribe with, make a baby with, all right, continue species with. And other than that, it filters out most of the other stuff that's going on around us, right? And as a result, the other people, you can point that tree and other people can walk up the same tree and both of you can confirm, in fact, there is tree there, right? So in that way, you shouldn't misunderstand what I say when I say reality is an illusion. But the energy, right, underlying what that tree is, that stuff is still there. It's still there, but you don't have to see it. It's not important for you to see. And that is one of the big things for me is like I like pushing myself into deeper and deeper kind of like spectrums of awareness. I want to see. I want to. And I've shown myself. And then I see, and then I come back to the human experience. And then I am convinced, oh goodness, I'm not supposed to do that. I'm supposed to just have human experience. I teach myself. And then my human experience goes, let's have human experience. And then I don't know what I'm saying right now makes sense. Like another way to articulate it is the more experiences you have that are of the extremes of human experience, and this is me personally, the more appreciation you get for the parts of humanity, for the parts of our experiences that are not extreme, right? Because of the extremes I've put myself through, just having a sip of water or having a blanket to hold on to is like this is great. This is fantastic. Who needs more than this as a balance? And then I really do try and find motivation and ambition to still push myself forward, right? Knowing these extremes, knowing that the ultimate extremes is something that I cannot achieve ever, no matter how hard I try, even if, and I will, live for 1,000 years and I get to make all of the sophisticated technologies that I want to, no matter how good I get in this realm, I'll still be bound by three-dimensional physics. I'll still be bound by the filters that I have to almost consider of others, right? I have to remember that there are still filters. Because again, the things that we have access to as consciousness, you can access levels of technology, levels of sophistication, right? And you can argue that it's hallucination or imagination. But the way I see it is like a Akashic record, like it's you tuning into the everything that could be and is, right? And then when you do, and you see on the other side what is, right? What is normal? What is taken for granted, right? Buildings, self-assembling, right? As you're walking into them, it's like, yeah, this is normal. This is the chill stuff. Buildings built out of light. Assembling themselves. It's like, how do you build things out of light? It's like, yo, yo, not the way that you do it on Earth, my dude. And I'm like, I get, I understand, right? And you can just think about the fact that we're already building these technological realms as like the precursor, like where we're starting. We are building out of light on these platforms already. Technically, it's being represented as pixel values, right? And those pixel values are still technically physically bound objects, but they are outputting light. Now imagine if you can transcend that space where everything's light, right? The computation is light, the structures are light, the entities are light. And I understand so clearly that I cannot understand. I cannot bring what I know could be into this reality. But I can learn and I can apply what I learned to my life. And I've tried. It's interesting how it it's interesting how things happen, right? Just think about the way that my life has almost like changed aesthetically. I want you to like always like be judgmental of me. Just judge me. Just like judging. What have you seen happen to my life? Like I technically already have applied many of the things that I believe at this point when I started doing these live streams, right? But the version of me that I was before, part of me would like die of cringe if that part of me was in recording, right? Like you would be able to access that version of me. Part of me feels it's a shame that I don't have access to that version of me. That version of me was stuck, very stuck in stuff, let's just say. Stuck in stuff, right? The stuff of this world. And I don't really believe, with complete honesty, that this version of me is any less stuck because I'm still here, to say it in so many words. But my attachment has loosened, right? Reminding myself to melt more over and over again has helped. I need to remind myself more still, though. Let's see how the next 4 year changes us again. I'm super stoked to continue this journey with you, friends. Goo, I'm gonna come and meet you. Oh, I'm gonna come and meet you next year. Next year is the year I meet Goo. I look forward to it. It's gonna be fun. There is no objective reality. Yes, it's true. It's true. A fool who knows he is a fool is wiser than a fool who thinks he is wise. Persian proverb. Moon, bless you. I'm well, Moon. How are you? So much love and chat. Moon, you're gonna break reality, and it's too early for me to handle that. Nobody knows the reality. You see what they want you to see. You don't know what's going on under the table because you're busy seating on the table, munching on the illusion that you consider the reality. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the whole they terminology, right? Because they is something that we apply when we like to imagine that there is some sort of skeeviness happening, right? It's like a us versus them mentality. There's no they. There's no they. This is us doing this to ourselves, Moon Knight. I feel like that's the part of me that has loosened my attachment, right? Because if I can acknowledge that I'm not getting taken for a ride, I'm not doing this to myself. I am doing this for myself. This is for me. This experience is for me to grow, to become, to explore. Right? And if I can really believe that, if I can suspend all of my doubts, then I find myself living a better life because of it. Right? Experientially. I don't know if I'm living a better life by societal standards, but experientially, it's a better life. Bend it a little, maybe Sam. No, Schwam Schwam, speak English arena. I'm so looking forward to that as well. It's gonna be cool, bro. It's gonna be wholesome. I don't know where exactly we'll meet. Texas is not that far away from Indiana. It's not close. I don't think anything in America is close to anything else in America. America is a big place. America is technically 52 countries. Right? It could just as well be considered 52 different countries. They just call it the United States. I'll come to y'all. Bless. Gavity goops. That's nice, bro. Will be nice having you. Hopefully by that point, uh, I have an EUC or something, and teach you how to ride a one wheel. Yeah. Do call. Do call. I'm not reading those comments. Nowadays, my brain is not braining. Things that I'm supposed to brain, I think I should make a deal with the devil and that your dog behind. Yes, that sounds like a very well functioning brain indeed. Don't make a deal with the devil, bro. There's actually a skit that got made recently. The thumbnail is like 7/8, 7/8 of your soul. Okay, I won't get your whole soul, but give me 7/8. Give me 7/8 of your soul. Bargaining. Yeah, yeah. Go and watch that video first. Run my Huskies on a one wheel. How cool would that be, bro? How cool would that be? You'll be like now all you need in this image that I have of you, Gobs, right? You have now transcended the shirtless being on tractor covered in baby oil to now being on one wheel or EUC. One wheel is technically more like cool bro, right? And I'm imagining you being cool bro in this imagining, right? So you're riding one wheel, you have leashes, you have huskies that are running up front, and then you're wearing pit vipers. the biggest, the biggest pit vipers they got. You got you got some of those on tractor cop callbacks. Nice. Nice, yeah. The lore needs to be called back. Love is true. Yeah. What do you think, Gobs? Could you rock it? I'm not even joking. I think Gob could rock a pair of pit vipers. I am committed to making this real. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of biased. I'm biased against the one wheels. I think the EUCs are a better product because you can put more batteries in them in total, right? Like the volume of batteries is way higher with an EUC. But I don't think you're going to go on like a walk or a run with your dogs that's more than 18 miles. I think you can get like 18 miles on a charge, right? That's the thing. On a one wheel, you get like 18 miles on a charge. On a really good EUC, a really good EUC, you can get like 180 miles on a charge. Those are expensive, but I mean that's the worlds of comparison. Maybe I can get some that are outfitted with prescription lenses. Pit Vipers with subscription lenses. I wonder. Let me see. Uh, I'm hitting this button and it's not working. Work for me, please. Do you get prescription Pit Vipers? Yes, you can get prescription Pit Vipers. Pit Vipers has partnered with a company called SVED Optical to offer prescription solutions. There you go, Goo. You actually can. I was kind of searching to put that idea to rest because I was like, you're probably gonna have to wear glasses underneath your Pit Vipers. But again, that would still be cooler. Still be cooler. Less, bro. Maybe. Yeah, now you know. I'm going to add some heat to this Dynavapius one more timeth. Gold morning. Yeah. The morning is starting for you, friends, as the sun setteth for me. Ah, dream, 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 dream. That would also be bitch and goo. Leather strap steampunk, like round, right? Rounded lens and circular lenses. There it is. Yeah, big circular lenses and like thick rim leather, right? Big old little forehead piece, thick rim, right? And then like thick strapums. Mm-mm-mm. I wear safety sunglasses every time I work in my flowering room. Hmm. Because of the UV light? I'm guessing. I'm guessing it's because of the UV light. Yes. Yeah. So I think he's guessing about the me understanding what goggles he was talking about. Hmm. I was right about the UV lights, but I'm also kind of Not surprised, but kind of surprised that the lights are bright enough to hurt your skin. And there's reflective material everywhere. Yeah. And I guess you don't really want to turn your lights off while you're working on them, or turn just some like LEDs on, turn the UVs off. But yeah. That definitely is a thing. I'm happy that you're taking good care of yourself. Did Dream Tooth just send a floating heart? That's nice, Dream Tooth. Bro. More? Oh, dude. Floating hearts for us. Hearts to be floating. My heart will float up to the heavens. Come back with the good news. There's room for all of us. You can work on them when it's lights out. If you use a green colored light, since the plants reflect that. Interesting. I know these things, God, because you don't want them to herm out, right? Like by exposing them to light when they're supposed to be sleeping. Working in green light, I didn't really consider that that is something they would do. It makes sense though. There's a lot of pruning and maintenance that you have to do if you're growing under lights. But I don't think that's worth potentially interrupting the photo period. I was wondering if it was going to actually still interrupt the photo period, because of the, potential for them to actually give you some sex on pollen. I look forward to learning from you, bro. Yes. Kobe chasing the cats. Can't get through the gate, but the cats can. I was actually amazed with how much cropping and defoliating I've had to do so far. It is wild. Like when you just start to grow, there is a part of you that feels really apprehensive towards cutting your plants because you're like, oh no, my baby. I love watching it get bigger. But once you become like a really sophisticated grower, you know that pruning it back, ends up giving you a better final yield. Or maybe not better final yield, but better final bud structure, right? Which these days is more valuable than just having a lot of small little tomatoes, right? Small little tomatoes? Or you want like some big tomatoes, big juicy tomatoes. Very, very well. Same. My first two plants are on day 20 of flowering. They're stretching, and there are bud sides everywhere. Nice. Yeah. Getting to see those little pistils, those little hairy hairies is awesome. And of course, when that happens, the aromatics really kick up a notch too. It is definitely, I think, good for the spirit just to like grow for yourself, right? Anything. You can grow anything for yourself. Grow yourself some freaking mint and then make yourself a smoothie with the mint you grew. Boom. +5 satisfaction. God bless. Thank you, PMT. Bless you too. How's your grow? Where they're at now. Hell yeah. My cucumbers are growing big. Nice. Very well. Bless again. Blood sets everywhere. As well, I successfully propagated 6 plants from clone cuttings. Nice. So, I don't know if you started with clones, started seeds, but yes, you can. Yes, you can, Joe. You can. So, this is what Gobbledygoo is doing. Gobbledygoo is on that next level, right? So, what you do is you create something called a mother plant. So, yes, plants have sex. Not like that, actually, Sam. What we're talking about right now is actual cloning, right? Propagating them by cloning them. So what you do is, let's say I grow a plant, right? And I absolutely adore the bud it produces. There are techniques, and technically this is what you do instead of, you know, stepping back, but I take, as the plant grows and as I prune my plants, I take those prunings and then I dip them in rooting serum, and then I put them in some sort of medium, like a rock wool, something, high humidity, put a dome over top of them. then they'll literally start to germinate little root systems out of those little sticky stickies. Now I have a bunch of baby plants, right? And maybe I have 10 different females that are growing in my grow room. And I try the 10 different buds that those 10 different females produced. And then I'm like, yo, female 8 has like especially spectacular sweetness and, like maybe orangey flavors that I really gravitate towards, right? I have all of these 10 different ones, and this is the one I keep coming back to. Then I go back to my clone room and I go and look for clones 8, right? And then I take clones 8 and then I can grow those in my grow room. So instead of growing now 10 different plants, kind of like shots in the dark, maybe I'm going to get something I like. Now, because I know I can clone stuff, I can get exactly what I knew I liked, right? Again. And that steps up the level. And that's basically how the pros are doing it these days. Started from seed. I'm getting the next crop ready to start. You see, from those plants, I started from seed. So Goo is doing exactly the big brainedness that I was just trying to communicate. Yeah, Gabs. Apt explanation, Mel. Thank you. Thank you, Gabs. That's cool, bro. I'm curious to see which one is going to be the one that you end up gravitating towards. And then you can create something that's called a mother plant, right? So if you have the space for it, you can essentially continue growing one of those plants. Like maybe you find, again, that plant 8 was the one you really liked. Then you grow, uh, and I don't know if it technically likes you doing that, but you can, I think, technically do that. You continue growing that first clone you take under like essentially grow light environments, so like 12-12 always, or maybe even like let's say 14. You can even push 16, but I think that might be like higher stress, where you essentially keep it in a vegetative state indefinitely, right? So it keeps growing and it keeps growing and it's waiting for winter, but winter isn't coming, it keeps growing. It's like, when is winter coming? And you keep cutting it back so it keeps having more reason to want to grow, and then you can keep taking clones. But it only lasts for that long, right? Like clones can get unhealthy as well and die, and then you have to start over. I have to learn about mother keeping. Yeah. It is something that takes up some extra space as well. I only have 2 healthy plants from 6 seeds. Next time I'm going to germinate more seeds. Yeah. I feel like you are very well positioned in America. Like America technically has the best genetics on planet Earth right now as well. America has the best everything on planet Earth technically when it comes to like the upper echelons of perfection, of technology, of quality, right? Like I'm not saying that there's not bad quality stuff available too. That's going to be the truth wherever you go, but like the amount of money and research and sophisticated practices that go behind all of your industry is really impressive. So yeah, like the Humboldt Seed Company, for one of them, it's like, holy shit, the stuff they do. It's like the level of just like expertise. It's like you see people that are expert at things, and then you have to at the same time acknowledge that the things you consider these people experts at has only existed as an industry technically for like a couple of years. Here in South Africa, literally for like the last 5. And it's wild to see that amount of growth so quickly. You're definitely can come visit us, Gab, but we gotta come visit you and your babies too, of course. I'd be delighted, Jobo. You'll have to influence what strain I select next. I'd love to. I'd even be able to, or this is what I would like to do, like try some of the strains and then pick specifically one of the strains that I find myself gravitating towards. I can't make up my mind. That is the hard part. There's so much options right now. Something that I really enjoy is the strain that I actually have in here right now. I have something that's called Straw Kush, but it's the same kind of terpene profile as some of the Mimosa strains I've had as well. I was kind of considering Blue Dream. No. Instantly, my judgment kicks in. It's like, no. If you want to do something blue, go for blue cheese. Blue cheese instead, gobbledygoo. It's just a very heavy, frosty, high percentage indica. I know Blue Dream. I've had my fair share of Blue Dream. I don't personally like Blue Dream that much, right? Taste wise. The Blue Dream I've had, I was like, when I hear blue, I want to taste blue. I tasted no blue. There was no blue for me to taste. Like the Blue Dreams that I had was very piney, uh, grassy esque, right? And again, that could be like bad growing practices as well. But uh, I've had a few of those. However, blue strains that are like the blue cheeses that come from like the blueberry lines, very very nice. Like I do enjoy those blueberry terpenes as well. Blueberry terpenes, limonene terpenes, and I don't know exactly what's happening with this mimosa. It also has kind of like citrusy terpenes, but we communicated on another stream, you know, what exactly it was called. That stink buggy fractal, right? It's very sharp. It's almost like the orange has like stood in the sun a little bit as well, you know, and it has like that extra twang of orangeness. I mean to say, I might want to pick an indica that is just wicked potent. I hear you. Like resinous buds. Uh, yeah. It depends on what company you're getting them from as well, right? Because some companies, you can pretty much buy anything and you'll get good stuff these days. You'll get wicked potent stuff. So that's also like the other consideration. But again, some companies, because they know what they have, they charge like $120 for 2 seeds. Kind of fractals is like, and in those cases, it's very good practice to then actually make clones because genetics, very good at genetics. Yeah, it's nice to share this moment with your friends. It's time for me to read you some poem, show you some flowers, say you some goodbye. I'm so curious. I'm so curious to see. Thank you for letting me yap. No, bro, you were not yapping. I really enjoy this topic of conversation. I have some babies growing as well right now. One of them I like super cropped. I think it's super cropped. I literally waited for it to like grow up, biggips, and then I like skabops. It literally down to only 2 sticks. And then those 2 sticks were like, oh, I'm gonna try. And then I stick those 2 sticks. And now it's like very thick at the bottom and it's like coming out. And then it's like these 2 bigums. And I'm kind of tempted to snippy them again. So they go stickies again. But then it's gonna be 16 nodes. And I think I'm I think I'm at 8 nodes right now. Right. Yeah. So if I snippy them, it's gonna be 16 nodes. Maybe that's still manageable. I want to put a wire mesh over the plant as well, and then I want to like crop it out sideways instead of letting it go longy. It's August. I don't technically think I'd be able to harvest the plant myself, but I'm happy to grow produce even if I don't get to consume them. It's now time for us to show flower, read poem. This is the days. Jovan. with her heart eyes. Like the best part, Joe, is that I would 100% be okay with there being some sort of bot script that like runs on my channel that's attached to yours. That like if C melt show flower, then equal put heart eyes, right? And I'll see those heart eyes, literally knowing that I'm the person who sat down with you to program that bot, and I'll still be flattered. Love is true. You like that, gobbity goo? You like that? Look at that center, bitty bitty. So, oh, what do you think of those ice cubes? This definitely has that like rounded kind of edging going on. If I make a cutout out of it, I probably am going to follow those lines. Right. Okay. Now it is time for me to read you a poem. Explain yourself. Suffering. It's called Can Suffering Explain Itself? Today's stream topic. How does this apply? Maybe if I can forget about all of the ways in which I've suffered, it suffers me less. Okay, let's continue. You can suffer anywhere. Top of the mountain, front row at the show. This thing glitchy bo glitchy, I'm gonna start again. You can suffer anywhere. Top of the mountain, front row at the show, someone hands you cake and somehow, snap, it's the wrong flavor. That's all it takes. The party's still raging, the candles are lit, and the mind whispers, not this. That's suffering. Not the moment itself, but the director in your head throwing a tantrum. This scene was supposed to go differently. And you're the star, trying to act natural while the script gets rewritten mid take. But here's the trick: drop the script, laugh at the improv, turn the wrong cake into a running joke, eat vanilla like it was destiny. Because the moment doesn't owe us our favorite color. It just shows us, it just shows up wearing whatever it feels like. And suffering, that's just us booing reality for not taking requests. Oh, yeah. Fuck, I love that line. Because this moment doesn't owe us our favorite color. It just shows up wearing whatever it feels like. And suffering, that's just us booing reality for not taking requests. But imagine this: instead of booing, we clap, we dance with the offbeat, we let the surprise be the best part of the song. Suddenly, suffering has no stage. It packs up, goes home, whispering something about tough crap. And what's left? A smirk, a breath, a life exactly as it is. Here we are, dear friends, living our lives. This is our life, right? I'm thinking about Stitch, of all things. It is technically a family thing, but he goes, my family. It's a little bit broken, but still good. Yeah, still good. That's me with my life, all of us. My life, little bit broken, but still good. Found it all on my own, right? Yeah. Thank you, friend. I appreciate you being here with me again. I'll see you tomorrow. All right? Okay, maybe. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Until we do it again. Goodbye, friends.